Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another build stream. Let's see who is online tonight. I am seeing Asav KB, Eddie H, Duncan Yo-Yo. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As usual, I like to start off the stream with what is Merlin drinking? It's my usual green tea. Favorite green tea. It's funny. I usually see these in stock and on sale. Today's the first time I've seen it for its regular price of $1.59. It's normally like under $1 each time, so I'm like, huh, interesting. I wonder what determines that. I still bought it anyway, just because I like it so much. Let's see, let's turn on a few tunes here. Here we go. There we go. Let's talk about what we're building today. As you guys can see from the top here, or from the stream title, I'm rebuilding this guy, the Sirius. Duzanio says, yo, you helped me configure my custom PCB for VIA. Shout out to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Droshna says, LOL. But yeah, here we go. This is my Sirius 60. If you guys remember, I built this a long time ago. I'd say probably 2019. I can't exactly remember when, but I do have a build stream of it as well. It's featuring a ZL60 PCB. It's a prototype Sirius 60 that Project Keyboard sent me. And let's see, what else did I do with this? What else was? Oh yeah, I was experimenting with magnetic connectors, as you guys can see right there. Worked out for a bit. In fact, I still use it every now and then, but I think what really annoyed me with that is whenever I had to take the board apart, it became really difficult. So I stopped using these for a while. I do think my workboard still uses it. Workboard still uses it, but in terms of all the boards that I have here, this is probably the only board that I put that on. It's currently featuring DSA Alchemy, one of my favorite DSA sets. And I believe this is the board with buttercreams. Buttercreams are a hogwash of a cream housing and a Gateron yellow stem. And I've lubed them with 205G0, and yeah. There we go. Let's take apart some of the keycaps now. But why am I doing this? Why am I doing this today? Mainly because of stabs. Before Durock V1, Cherry and GMK were the de facto stab to use. So I put them all on this board. Unfortunately, since then, this particular stab wire has popped, and now it's a little bit difficult to press my backspace key. Right now it functions kind of like normal, but not so much, just because before the stream I tried to fix it one more time, and I popped it in, but it still feels kind of loose when I press it. So yeah, we'll just fix that all up by using Durock V2s right there. Leo says, hi Fade. Hello to you too. Alright. Oh, and another thing about this board, I'm using a palm plate. So this is almost a fully palm build. Almost a fully palm build. If only I had used an actual full cream switch, then it would be completely palm. There we go. Let's take it apart. Does it have ESD support? No, this does not. This is a ZL60. ZL60, also designed by Wilba, I believe. I think it's a ZL60 Rev 3 or something like that. Yeah. But no, this board does not have ESD protection. What about some palm jelly cap? Palm jelly caps, huh? Nah. Let's see. Palm jelly cap. Are there any good palm jelly caps? Here, let's go look. Let's just go look really quick. Palm jelly caps. Here. Here, I found a spot called Escape Keyboards. Huh. Let's go check a look. Let's go look. There we go. Catalog. Palm jelly butter keycaps. Not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, definitely not the kind of key sets that I like. Leo says, just cracking a joke about the GMMK Pro stream. Oh yeah, if you guys didn't catch that, this was on the 21st. Glorious had a stream along with one of their, with two of the Glorious staff, along with, what's her face? I think her name is Switch Keys, or something like that. Yeah, and they were both building their GMMK Pros. One was tactile, one was linear, and yeah, people were just commenting left and right. And someone asked about ESD protection. Betty from Switch and Click. There we go. That's it. Stabilizers, yeah, I know. Mr. Ortholinear user. Yeah, because of Pop Stabilize, I have not used this board for a good number of months, you know? I think that's one of the drawbacks of having multiple keyboards. Like, you tend to ignore boards that have a problem, and you just move on to the next board, and it takes months before you get around to fixing it. So it's like, okay, you know. Just ignore the stabilizer problem. But then, as a result, I haven't used this board for a very long time. How did the GMMK Pro stream go? I caught the beginning but didn't stick around. I think that it went very well. There was this whole slew of ESD talk. I felt like a lot of people, like someone asked it, and then everyone jumped in without fully knowing what it was. And all that, and then there were people who were discounting it as well, also without fully knowing what it was. So it was an interesting good like 30-40 minutes. Sheena says, you maybe get this question every day, what is your favorite board? I don't have a favorite board, rather I like a subset of boards, you know? Like, for example, this board right here, this is the Volcano 660. This is one of my favorite boards, actually. Figuratively says, it seems like it's going to be a decent budget 75. Would you call 170 bucks budget though? I feel like 170 is still on the, it's still more expensive than a Corsair board, you know? Like, budget for me would be more like under 100 bucks. Like 160, 170 is starting to be more, what do you call that, budget custom in terms of that price range. Droshna says, Mac Merlin like 60% ISO boards. No, I don't. I like 60% but not ISO. I'm done with ISO. I typed on ISO for a good, what, 10 years of my life. Switched to ANSI, never looked back. Budget as compared to a lot of high-end GBs. Well, yeah, for sure. For sure. DJ says, keycap profile. I'm assuming you mean favorite keycap profile. Once again, I don't have a singular favorite keycap profile, rather I like a whole bunch. My favorite ones are Cherry, DSA, XDA, Cat. Those are my top 4. Which is why you see a Cherry board in front of me and a DSA board right here. Mass Gnome says, I'm scouting for a 65 plus 5% with knob, not finding much. Okay, I'm I'm having trouble visualizing what you mean by 65 plus 5%. Would that be 70%? Lily Koi T says super early, but any switch recommendation for the SAT 75? Thinking of Zycos on brass, but also picked up an FR4 plate. So I am a big fan of linears paired with a stiff plate and tactiles paired with a softer plate. So in your particular case, with those two combinations, I would say Zycos on the FR4. Figuratively says, how does Cat compare to SA? I have Cat set coming and I'm pretty stoked for it. Okay, so my issue with SA is that it's way too tall. So whenever I'm typing, it feels like it's super wobbly and it drops my accuracy down by like quite a bit. MT3 on the other hand, I feel is a little less tall, but the way it's sculpted grips my hands too much that even though my accuracy goes up, my speed goes down. In terms of Cat, I think it's the best of both worlds. It doesn't feel too grippy and it's not too high. Any linear switch recommendations? Alright, so let's see, one switch that I recently purchased was the Palm JWK switches, just because I was curious about them. But one thing that I'm recently ranting and raving about is, here, let's see if I can grab that link for you. These are lavender keys. This is another JWK, but all the way on Canon keys. What I like about these is that the top and bottom housing are both made out of nylon. So from what I'm able to like hear, it has a bassier sound than your typical JWK switch, such as the Alpaca. See, Voice 65. Oh yeah, Voice 65 went on group buy yesterday. I actually stared at the screen. Well, actually, it's not a group buy, it's an in-stock buy. But they did say it will take up to a month till I get to you. I think it was 340 bucks for one. Anyway, I was staring at the screen for a while because I was like, you know, this has a lot of things I like in a keyboard. It's got 65%. It's in terms of the PCB, it's USB-C daughter board, ESD protected, supports QMK and VIA. And I was like, not bad, not bad. But ultimately what made me not buy it is because I'm still waiting for the Rama Yeti. So I'd rather save my money for that. There we go. Removed all of the keys. Here. As you guys can see, I'm using cherry stabilizers right here. And if you can see right through there, I'm indeed using some plate foam. Yeah, check it out. Let's see. Time to take it apart. What do I think about the Box 75? If you watch one of my interest check videos, I actually talk about it. One thing that I remember talking about was I'm not too big a fan of the feet. Even though it looks really classy, I'm unsure if that's something I want in a board. Static Age says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. Welcome to the beginning of the stream. And yeah, another thing about the box 75, if I'm not mistaken, the price was well over 400 bucks. So, you know, I don't think I want to spend that much money for something I'm not too sure about, right? That's a lot of money. $550 to $6. Oh yeah, that's definitely not something you can just spend without being sure. Alan says, can I send a link in chat for a mass gnome? You can just whisper it, so it gets to him directly. What do you call 65 but with F1? Yeah, that's 75%. Right. I think I've got all that off. So the Sirius is a top mount board. Let's see if I can get stuff off here. Ah, here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. The shoots. That magnetic thing being in the way. Let me try and get it out. This is exactly why. I think it's a good idea for like boards you don't ever think you will mod, but for something like this, this is, whew, was a mistake on my part. You know what? I never actually opened up my drink. Alright, let's see. Do I have some pliers here within reach? No, I don't, but maybe I can use a switch puller to pull it out. Maybe. Right. There we go. Got it out that way. There we go. That's the piece. I will not be using that again. There we go. This is the Zeal 60 designed by Wilba for Zeal PC. One thing about Wilba PCBs is that they are always absolutely gorgeous. This one in particular is the Rev 4, copyright 2018, Zeal PC, zealpc.net. Very cool. I believe it's still an Atmega 32U4 microcontroller. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There we go. That's what it looks like. Right there. And this is the bottom. The bottom of the Sirius 60. As you may have noticed, this is a different cutout than what the production board has, just because this is a prototype. See, this is what the production board has, and it's got a weight in it too. Mine does not even have that. See that? Fransuso Redeemed Hydrate, thank you. Drashna says, Wilba only uses AVR. Yes, he does. Alright. Next thing to do is actually to desolder the board. What material is the case? The material is made out of palm. Palm is the same material that most switch stems are made of. Let me pull my little desoldering gun. Yeah, you guys can actually see the typing test on my YouTube channel. So, you know, after this build, it's just gonna sound exactly the same. All I'm really doing is changing the stabs. Alright, let's plug it in and turn it on. There we go. Just gonna wait for it to heat up right there. You know what? I actually haven't updated this board in quite some time. Probably not since 2018. So once we actually resolder it, I will probably, let's see, probably flash it with whatever's latest. Alan redeemed the staff party. Oh wait, no, he says I'm 10,000 points away. There we go. Is there a noob-friendly soldering iron that you recommend? I don't think there's such a thing. I think they're all roughly the same. You know, Franzuso, what's your definition of noob-friendly? How about that? Because in my point of view, if you go really, really cheap, a soldering iron doesn't have a lot of protection, such as temperature control. Whereas if you start to go more expensive, somewhere in the $50 to $100 range, then you start getting a soldering iron that has temperature control and more consistent heat. So in my opinion, that's more noob friendly than a $20 one. What are these switches? These are what I call buttercreams. They are a cream housing with a Gateron yellow stem. And I believe this one in particular has 67 G springs. There we go, just waiting for my iron to heat up. There we go. Sounds sexy. Arcaril says Hackle FX888D is a great value. Yeah, it's a good one too. The one I'm using is a Weller WS51, something that I've had for pretty much a decade at this point. And going good so far. Why is everyone starting to use that solder thing now? What solder thing? Static Age says Team TS100. Yeah, that's another popular one. The gun, the desoldering gun. Okay, if you are a streamer or if you build keyboards on a regular basis, this is a must-have tool. Otherwise, doing this by hand would take me like a 60%. At my prime of doing it by hand would still take me close to an hour. These days, probably it would take me closer to 2 hours just to desolder this whole thing. So this tool is so much more efficient. It's a must-have tool, I say. Like, if you're just like a casual hobbyist, you make one board a year, you desolder one board a year, then buying this might be a waste of your money. But like the last time I desoldered something was 2 weeks ago, and before that was, I think, another 2 weeks, you know? Oh, it says, I see, that makes sense, yeah. Just saves so much time. And less stress too, because you can control the temperature. I can already feel that foam starting to fight back. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I feel like this is one of the very few 60% that have in-switch RGB that is also soldered. Like, I can only think of, let's see, the DP60 is one, ZL60 is one. What other soldered boards have in-switch RGB? The Dawn 60, there we go, that's 4. Anyone know of other boards soldered and in-switch RGB? And N60? The Corn and Helix, are those 60%? Oh yeah, those are not 60%. You want 60? Of course I want 60. 60 is like the smallest board I could use on a regular basis. I actually still have to build my Super 16. Never got around to fully building it. The WT60C has ProState. Well, okay. Yeah, that's another Wilbur PCB. How about one with 64 key support? Drosha says because you hate RGB and hate me. I don't hate you. Isaac Lee, thank you for subscribing. You need your arrow keys. We're almost done here. Alright. We're good. We're good. Let's see. Just to make sure, look around, anything looks like it can be suctioned a little bit more. Looking around. Coincidentally, that last one. There we go. Alright, looks like we're good. Do I find soldering and desoldering more relaxing than lubing switches? Yes, I do actually. Lubing switches is probably one of the things I like the least out of any keyboard build. Simply because it's so time consuming. Let's see. Will you pop out? Or will you not pop out? Okay. Come on, lift up. Yep, I can see it lift up. Lubing switches aren't relaxing for me, says Leo. Yeah, I'm in that same boat. Lubing switches is not relaxing to me. There we go. I think I can pry it off. Just try. Hey, look at that. It's coming off. Come off, come off. Hey, look at that. Okay. Something about these switches are still not fully coming off. Zarxas, are you Teha? There we go. Woo! That came off. There we go. No. And with any luck, I won't have to pop any of the switches back in. I should use the Voltar wiggle for the desoldering. I don't even know what that means. Oh, I can feel... Holy cow, I can feel a lot of these switches starting to come loose. Okay. Let me turn off the gun. Oh, see that, guys? That backspace key? See that wire? See how loose that is? I still managed to get it to work, but the fact that it's popped out, that's probably why. Oh well. Oh well. Alright, time to replace them. Time to replace them. Let me just... take the old ones out. No more old stabs. Just got here. What stabs are on the Zeal 60? These were GMK Cherry pre-tools. They popped out. Or at least the backspace one did. Basically, you hold the gun on the joint for a few seconds to turn it liquid, then as you're desoldering, you swirl the tip of the gun around so that you don't end up having the pin stuck on a specific spot. Ooh, I'll try that next time. Alright, there we go. You guys have never seen a Zeal 60 before. Different color on top versus on the bottom. See that? I have generated quite a lot of solder residue here, or flux residue, so I'll probably clean this off really quick. Pumi says, do you fart? I am a human being. All human beings fart. Just gonna clean this off a little bit. What's my favorite layout and why? I don't have a favorite layout. Again, like these questions are always so difficult to answer because I don't have a favorite thing. Rather, I have a set of favorites. But my favorite layouts are 60, 65, and 75. Those three. Why? Let's see, 60%. So why do I like 60%? Because I think they look cute. They give me the maximum amount of desk space. And it's actually got everything that I need in a keyboard. That's why I like 60%. They're also a lot easier to store and package, all that stuff. Why do I like 65%? 65% make the arrow keys a lot more accessible. Why do I like that? I don't actually have any problems with arrow keys on a 60%, but specifically on a 65, when you buy key sets usually have the arrow keys as a different color. So I think when you have dedicated arrow keys like that, it just makes your keyboard look more colorful. And that's like the same kind of logic as to why I like 75. 75s have that function row on top, right? And yeah, you can change colors on that as well. Though if I could somehow learn PCB design, and make my own PCB, make my own keyboard, I'd probably make a 60% with a function row on top, similar to the Eve Meteor. If you guys remember that board. Eve Meteor was a group buy that occurred probably 2017 at this point. Andy rating me with a party of 108. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for sending all your people my way. You guys are witnessing me provide dental services to my PCB. So thanks guys for joining in. I'm basically just cleaning off all the residual flux from my desoldering job. But yeah, welcome. I am another keyboard streamer. Today we are building or rebuilding my Sirius 60 with the Zeal 60 PCB. So thanks guys for joining in. And he says, Merlin tries too hard, I just pretend there is no flux. Yes, sure. But okay, this kind of stuff annoys me, alright? If I know that there's flux there, it will irk me. So I might as well clean it off. I don't see it, it's not there. There we go. Alright, Merlin, gotta run. Have a good stream. Thank you. Thanks for sending all you people my way. Yeah, for those of you who were just at Andy's stream, what did he build today? What was he doing? You know, Fabio says, Merlin turns the camera off and ceases to exist. The greatest magic trick. Alright, I think that makes the PCB look almost as good as new. I still see some of the harder flux deposits remaining, but so far so good. So far so good. Alright, we're good. Whew. See, Machu, he was rebuilding his Polaris and he built a keyboard for his fiance. Oh, very nice. Wait, is it still his fiance? I thought they got married already. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how that's going. I will have to ask him after this stream. But I could have sworn that they got married already. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah, I should build a board for my wife. Though she seems to be pretty happy with her poker. Alright, alright. I think we can get to soldering. Did I see the KFECE? Yes, I did. Number one, I'm not too big a fan of TKL, so it's not really something I pay much attention to, but I did cover it during my weekly group buy news, and my thoughts about it was that it looked too simple. It looked way too simple. Xenophobia says, the poker of Theseus. That's what I should call it. The poker of Theseus. But let's see. Every now and then, you know, since I swap out my boards here, and sometimes my wife does work on this computer. Let's see, what boards has she liked? She definitely liked my Volcano, and she liked the SCOG reboot. Let's see, what else? She did not like the NK65, aluminum or entry edition. What else? She did not like the Sagittarius. She did not like the clue board. What else? She liked the Discipline 65. And she liked the Southpaw. Yeah, I think those are the ones that I can remember her liking. Kiwi says, I'm 65 switches into living and filming 80 creams and I'm losing the will to live. Xenophobia says, wait, she liked the Volcano but not the clue board. Yes, that is true. It's because the clue board that I had her try was the LP. I think the integrated plate made the Gateron, was it Gateron Blacks or Gateron Yellows? I think it made it feel too stiff for her because that's what she was complaining about. Whereas the Volcano 660 is a gasket mount. Yeah, she did not like the LP. She has not tried the high profile yet. But I told her that's actually a very common complaint about the clue board LP. Integrated plate makes it feel really stiff. Though I should probably buy another clue board 66 PCB so I can make it not hot swap. I can like unscrew the plate and just make it all soldered. We'll see. Okay. Oh yes. Next thing to do is lube the stabilizers. Yeah, actually, you know, now that I mention it, does Clueboard still have it in stock? I'll have to buy one if it is. Anisan subscribed at tier 1. Thank you. This is a rebuild stream, actually a rebuild of a Sirius 60. I just finished desoldering the PCB and cleaning it off. Right now I'll be actually building it, starting off with stabilizers. Let's see, I need backspace, I need, what's next? I need enter, I need left shift, and spacebar. There we go, that should be all the housings that I need. See, It's Tragic says, do you have any advice for instant sellout group buys? Advice regarding what? Like joining in on them? Like starting one? Alright, there we go. Pray it doesn't get botted. Yeah, that's the thing. People will bot this stuff. Like, I don't encourage botting because it just makes it harder for everyone else, but you know, if this is a life and death situation, you need to buy this board, otherwise you will die in 5 minutes, and sure, bot it. But yeah, don't bot it. It just makes things difficult for everyone else. Which is why I personally like raffle group buys a lot better than first come first serve ones. Okay, let's see. When I bought my Satisfaction 75 round 1, that one was first come first serve, and I was trying to get one of the white ones too, so I knew that my chances were super slim. Thankfully, I did get it, but when I got in, I was so excited, so that I messaged an Upos and I was like, "Hey, I got it! I'm so happy!" And then he responded back saying, "Merlin, I'm not seeing you on the list." I'm like, "What?" And after 30 minutes, he's like, "Oh, never mind. I was looking at a different list." And I'm like, "Oh." But yeah, I got it. I got it. Sat 75 is a sore subject. I don't know, when the round 2 came around, I considered buying it again, but I was like, something about the Sat 75 was not very enjoyable to me. Upasto, no, he was not a troll. I think this was his first big group buy, you know? So he didn't really know how to manage stuff properly. So yeah, I like had PayPal with like the receipt saying that I got the Cloud White variant. So I immediately sent it over. I'm like, Upas, look, I got it. How dare you say I did not? He's like, wait, let me look through my records again. And then he found it. Kurtzen says, got lavender switches after you show them on stream. Do they need additional lubing? They do not need additional lubing. However, additional lubing will definitely improve the experience. Disclaimer, I lube all of my switches. Unless, of course, it's like a brand new switch and I'm trying to, like, you know, get a feel on their sound and how smooth they are. But for my personal builds, I usually just lube all of my switches. Sark says, so they need lubing. Okay, so I hate saying that. Whenever someone says, does it need this? I'm like, I don't like saying it absolutely needs it, because it makes it sound like it's an inferior product, you know, without enthusiast modding. Do you lube over the pre-applied lube for JWKs? Yes, I do. I tried cleaning off alpacas once and mauves just to see if it made any difference, and I don't think I could feel any, so I was like, yeah, save myself that extra step. I'm sure there will be others in the community who will be like, oh my gosh, Merlin, how dare you do that? You need to clean off all that excess lube first. I'm like, meh. No need. It's a lot of effort for not much payoff, yeah? I'm sure that there is payoff, just me, I cannot feel what that payoff is. Though I'm sure if you're like the switch master or something that you know, you can tell exactly what switch it is by feel alone, then yeah, it would probably matter to you. The juice is not worth the squeeze. I've not heard that saying, ever. Needed that meh. Like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in this hobby that enthusiasts are saying, oh, you need to do this, otherwise it's crap, which, you know, if you are someone new coming into the hobby, it makes it sound like whatever you buy is just going to be crap. So I try not to say that you need something. Like the only thing that the only thing that you really need for sure is QMK. Twitch Snake redeemed Hydrate. Thank you so much. I prefer Razer's Synapse. I was having a discussion with someone on Discord a few weeks ago. I had voiced my opinion that one day I would like to receive an email. And if it's from someone that I'm trying to wait for an email from, the RGB lights on my keyboard will like flash a different color. And this person said, oh, Merlin, that might actually be possible relatively soon. I'm like, oh, really? They're like, yeah, we're trying to use Open RGB with QMK. And I'm like, whoa. So yeah, that reality might be, well, that fantasy might not be a reality. Or might be a reality in the near future. HyperX, Hyper, and Microsoft Store software. I don't think any Microsoft keyboards have RGB, do they? At least I've never seen one. Drashna says he doesn't know. What do I not know? Update me. Update me on the status of Open RGB. Do we crush his dreams? Yes, go ahead. Crush my dreams. Does the blue Windows key count? Okay, yeah, sure. That's more like just blue instead of R, G, and B. What's going on with the Open RGB and QMK stuff? The OpenRGB PR is currently incompatible with VIA, and there's currently not a lot of internal desire to add another RGB implementation. Yeah. Many competing RGB implementations is not fun. But that is the beauty of QMK, right? You could fork QMK and have your own RGB implementations or whatever you want, you know? What are my RGB preferences? My RGB preferences with how QMK and VIA works right now is I kind of like the all color RGB for like in-switch RGBs. I like every color, every key like a different color. I think it's called the rainbow effect. That's how I like it standard. But when I press caps lock, I want all of it to turn red. And then if I press a layer key, like such as my M01 or maybe a toggle key, I want it to change blue. Those are my RGB preferences. Ooh, Zark doing lots of work for QMK. The QMK API. Very cool. Save us, Zark, says Xenophobia. Indeed. Is QMK written in C? Yes, it is. QMK firmware is written in C with some things in C++. We have other projects within the QMK organization, such as QMK Configurator, which is written in JavaScript in the Vue framework. We've also got the QMK API, which is in Python, I believe. Or sorry, not the API, the QMK CLI, written in Python. And a few others too. Let's see, QMK Toolbox is written in, I think the Mac OS one is still Objective-C. Windows one is .NET. Respective host apps can invoke it. You grew out of in-switch RGB. Okay, so the reason why I picked a Zeal 60 is because I wanted in-switch RGB for this board. How come there isn't a Linux version of QMK Toolbox? Okay, so my interpretation of it is if you're on Linux, you're probably more comfortable with CLI anyway. Which is a huge assumption, you know? So I don't think anyone's ever invested time to do it. Zark says dependencies. At least that's what I'm assuming he's saying with deps. Okay, speaking of Linux, I might have to convert to to Linux soon. Let's see, as some of you guys know, I'm running a Hackintosh right now. I'm running a Hackintosh to do all of my work. For the past year, I've been editing all my videos with Final Cut Pro, and I'm running High Sierra. So the problem with this is I have a GTX 1070. That's my graphics card right now. And only High Sierra supports it. Mojave, Catalina, Big Sur does not support that anymore. Over the last couple weeks, I've developed, or a bug that has plagued me on Final Cut Pro has made me reach the end of my rope, and I've discovered that that bug is fixed in Mojave. So I'm like, great, I can't upgrade. Number 2, Homebrew, which is the macOS package manager, has started putting out like this message saying, hey, Homebrew's not going to support High Sierra anymore. So I'm like, well, crap. And last but not the least, KeyCAD. KeyCAD updates are, well, I can't update my KeyCAD on High Sierra as well. So I'm like, well, crap, I'm going to have to do something, right? So unfortunately, to upgrade my Hackintosh, it's going to be quite the endeavor. I'll probably have to buy a new graphics card that's at least as good as my 1070, and then upgrade all of my components. Based on a parts list that I came up with this week, I'm at $2,400 just to make something that will work. The other option, the other option that I found is to buy the latest M1 Mac Mini for only 1,000 bucks. So I'm like, okay, could go that route. But the cheapest option is to actually, you know, just switch over to Linux. But then I would also have to switch from Final Cut Pro to DaVinci Resolve. Like what? I could just buy like a 1 terabyte SSD for about 100 bucks, and I still get to keep my current existing setup. No problems. Zark says, make a VM. So you want me to video edit on Final Cut Pro in a VM. That's gonna be terrible. Let's see, all right. Big Sur is a mess right now, oh yeah, for sure. Merlin, did you get a Meridian? No, I did not. Like I said, I am saving up for a Rama Yeti. That will probably be the next board that I purchase. Either that or a M1 Mac Mini. Or who knows? Who knows what I decide to do? Right. You realized your last message made no sense whatsoever. NK65 entry okay for a daily driver? Of course. Can you get drunk from rubbing alcohol? You can probably die. Actually, that's almost guaranteed. Why do people find TKLs boring? I don't know. I find TKLs boring. I think it's from the top down, they look mostly the same. %60 are boring too, to be honest. It's the 65s and 75s that have more of a design aesthetic going on. But I think the most beautiful layout is probably 1800. 1800 layout is the most beautiful. Xenophobia says, I don't have any mechanical TKLs. $1800 is beautiful, yeah. One of my very first projects was a Liku 1800. That thing took forever to like get all of the parts on. Someone should invent a better way to do stabs. How so? What is your main concern with stabs? Have I seen the box from Novelkeys? Yes, I have. See, Arceril says, honestly still love Co-Star stabs. Slight bend gets rid of the rattle. Nice. So would you say that the Vega is the best price for a nice 65%? The best price for a nice 65%? I think the Vega is actually underpriced. For a board of that caliber, it's probably $100 to $200 cheaper than it should be. See, Xenophobia says, list for attractive layouts, 1800, TKL, Ergo Split, 65, 60, and 75. And anything that looks like an Alice. All the tuning to make them right? Well, then you could also argue that that's what you have to do for a Switch as well. You need to put film in it. You need to, you know, if you want a deeper sound, change the top. You gotta lube it. You gotta lube the springs. All that stuff. All right. Time to reinvent the entire board. The Jin. Oh yeah, Zark's Jin. That looked really cool. Maglev stabs? I don't know what a maglev is. It's Tragic says, know any keyboard combination that sounds like package bubble popping when typing? No. Package bubble typing? I don't think that's actually a very good sound, to be honest. The worst part about 75s is finding matching row profiles for the strip of keys on the right. Oh yeah, for sure. So my first 75%, I just went straight out DSA on them, just because I could not find matching profiles. Who doesn't like bubble wrap popping? I like the feel of it popping, but I don't like the sound. Bro Timmy says, howdy you too. Actually, wait, hold on. I did not need to put that on the shift key, because I'm doing split right shift. There we go. No need to put it on the shift key. There's a Teha with the keyboard that sounded like spray paint can shaking. Ugh. There we go, Chewy Dies, or Chewy D's. Looking up the gin right there. Sark, since you are a mod, you could probably post a link. You gotta source it yourself, oh yeah. For anyone else, the gin. This rabbit hole goes deep. Yeah. Hopefully early Feb. Ooh, okay. Zark, I might be interested too. I'll build it while I drink some gin. How about that? Gin and gin. Porting via ports, gin and gin. Gin and gin. Now I need to find a streamer named Jin. Invite them up on the stream. Gin and gin with gin. Actually, to be fair, I don't really like gin. I went gin tasting last year, and out of all the tastings I've ever done, gin tasting was probably the worst. The worst. Sounds like alcohol water to me. Pretty much tastes like that too. Tastes like pine needle smell. What other tastings have you done? Well, of course, I've been doing wine tastings, I've done mead tastings, I've done whiskey tastings, I've done... let's see, what else? I've done... beer tastings, of course, yeah. I think that's pretty much it. What I want to do is go cheese tasting. Cheese. Oh wait, I've gone cider tasting as well. Cider tasting. That was probably like my favorite tasting. Cider tasting. Merlin's search for the ultimate potion. No port tasting? There is no port tasting. I've not found a port winery here. Oh, actually no. One of the wineries that I went to last year had a port. In fact, here, let me show you. Let me show it to you guys. Let me just show it to you guys. This one right here. Have not opened it up yet, but this one is from Marrowstone Vineyards. Here, let's see if I can get a better lighting this way. Guess how much this bottle was? This 2017 vintage bottle. This was 35 bucks. 35 bucks for 375 milliliters. So yeah, I'll probably drink it at some special occasion, something like that. We'll see. We'll see when. Alright, let's see. When I last built this board, I remember having difficulty with the foam and the palm plate. So, what can I do to make the experience better? See, I think last year I did it 1 by 1. I put the switches in 1 by 1, and that made the palm plate sink too much. Let's see. But if I didn't do that, I don't know if I was able to compress the foam enough. See, you guys can probably already see this, but despite it being mounted to the top, the plate still flexes incredibly. That... but that's going to be a problem no matter what I do. Here, let me take it out of the top. Wait, He-Man says bought a cheap clip-up PC case, going to try the gasket friction mount. Good luck. Dremeling the sides of the PCB, oh man. Twitch Snakes has, how many keyboards do you own, and of those, how would you say you use consistently? I own quite a few keyboards. more than 20 at least. Out of the ones that I use most consistently, I probably use 7 consistently. For a while, I used this pretty much like once a month, like 1 week a month. See that? You guys can see that plate bend, right? Okay, let's see. How can I do this and still keep the plate completely compressed? Okay. So creams are super tight fitting. I'm just going to experiment and see if I can pop these out easily. Here, let's do the sides first. How many can I use at once? Probably at once 2. Because whenever you're flashing a keyboard, you need at least one other keyboard. Unless, of course, you do auto flash. Using 20 keyboards at once is theoretically possible. So yeah, you could lay them all out on tables, right? And just run between them as you press keys. But yes, it's doable. You could do it. Okay, so for example, you could take one keyboard. Every single key is the letter A. Then another keyboard, every single key is the letter S. And then another one that's all space. So you could run between them and just like smack it. That's like one way to do it. Not sure if that's what Xenophobia was thinking about. You're thinking too big. You're thinking too big, an array of single keyboards, each programmed to a different function, one for each finger and toe. There we go, yeah. 27 big switches. Set up like a drum kit. Macro pad for each finger. That's doable. Kick drum is a space bar. I'd love to see that happen. Come out, come out. Come out, switches. Okay. All right, I think this is a fair amount of switches to keep on the center column. There we go. All right. Doing it this way, I can still compress the foam. That should be good. Yep. Still doable. Okay, good. We'll leave it like this. Perfect. That's how I like it. Okay, I can take out my desoldering gun now. Is it cool to the touch yet? Yes, it is. Good. All right. Let's get soldering. There we go. Saturn OG executed the build command. Yep, today is a rebuild. I'm getting the chance to do a bunch of rebuilds lately. So today I was supposed to do another customer build, but unfortunately the board got to me way too late. It actually got to me yesterday evening. And I normally require people to send it at least 1 week in advance, so if anything's wrong, we have time to fix it. He forgot to send me Holtites, or sorry, Mil-Maxes. So, you know, there's nothing I can do at this point. So we'll have to do it in a few weeks. What switches are these? These are what I call butter creams. They're basically a cream housing with the Gateron yellow switch. With the Gateron yellow stem. These are actually spare parts that someone gave me, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna make a switch out of them. Are they the best switch ever? Probably not. They make me happy, so why not? The famous buttercreams. Oh yeah, famous buttercreams. Like a lot of people say, Merlin, isn't a cream stem palm anyway? So what's the difference? Well, the difference is a cream stem is actually longer. That's why you get that very unique cream sound. But other than that, the Gateron stem comes from a different mold, so I think it's a slightly smoother palm stem, you know? But other than that, there's really no real benefit. It's just a fancy name. I did lube them though. I did lube them and changed out the springs. So there's that. Cream stem so hot right now for JWK Franken Switch, yeah. There we go. I at least have those top switches soldered in with the switch fully mated. Yeah, these are MK Ultra Foam, some of his first batches actually. Which is probably why they are so tight fitting. So what would a cream stem and a Gateron yellow housing be called? Cateron? A cream stem? I don't know. Yeah. Gateron, sure. Creameron. You watched Nathan build with that foam. He was struggling. Yeah, I don't think Nathan builds it like me, where I do it one leg at a time and then I like reflow it. For the Reborn 60, yeah, it's that foam. That foam just expands too much, to be honest. I think if he had made it just a little bit thinner, it would have worked better. But having it expand like this has its benefits too, because then it makes the board feel super sturdy. The giant V4 switches. I've never reviewed any giant switch, actually. And by giant switch, I assume you mean the giant branded switch, not the giant in size switch. Because the giant in size switch is actually just called big switch. Recolor JWK switches with branding because of the spring. Well, here's the thing. If it's a JWK switch, it's going to be pretty similar to their other variants. You know? JWK is pretty much like the switch to go for. They're smooth enough stock, and they sound decent. Personally, I don't like how they sound. How do I feel about installation in between plate and PCB, like what I'm doing right now? I think it works. It works pretty well. It's just hard to like install. But in terms of dampening, I think putting case foam is more effective than this. Not to say that this is not effective. Like this one is fairly effective as well. All right. Just got to do this row now. And we should have at least all that foam compacted properly. Looks like a workout. Yeah, you need to push it a lot so that you can ensure that the PCB is properly mated to the PCB. Or sorry, the switch is completely flush with the PCB. So I fully expect that in about 20 minutes or so, my thumbs will be so tired. Which is why I'm trying to do all my strength on the ones that matter the most. There we go. Okay. Now I can do the other leg. You need to rebuild the board as well, but the idea of relubing my switches makes me procrastinate. Why do you have to relube your switches? Are you not happy with the way you originally lubed them? Is that why? Because normally lube lasts decades. Alright. There we go. Let me just pin the space bar. There we go. It feels inconsistent because it was my main game. Ah, okay. That makes sense. All right. All right. So I think I should have compacted the foam enough. The rest of the switches that I put in, I shouldn't have to push too hard anymore. Fingers crossed, of course. Fingers crossed. Let's do this. Go. Let's try that. Cube Noob says, well, I was going to tell you after the VIA conversation last week, I actually tried out using the web HID API and got connected to my board using the browser. Interesting. Alright, just a few more switches left. Why am I using a soldering gun instead of a wand and fire spell? It's because not everyone can do a fire spell, right? So teaching people how to solder your boards is a lot easier using a soldering gun. Man, that foam is super stubborn. Okay, this should be the last one. Stubborn foam, pushing up on the switch. Yeah, I think the next foam that I buy will definitely not be as thick as this, because this is just difficult. Like, I'm able to do it much better now, but still, this is extremely taxing on my thumbs here. Thick foam, yeah. This is the original foam from MK Ultra. From way back in the day when he first started. So it's super thick. I think his foam is a lot thinner now. Well, not a lot thinner, but just thick enough that you don't have to push super hard. Do I think a leather keyboard exists? Well, you could leather wrap your keyboard, right? Not sure if that would feel any good, but you know, more power to you if you try it out. There we go, okay. Should be the last. Let's see. Yep, here. I think we're good. I think we're good. Here, let's test this out really quick. Test, okay. So this is flashed with a really old version of VIA firmware. So I wonder, ooh, pretty. I wonder if VIA will even be able to detect this. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I was trying to press Command Space. Nothing was happening. Turns out I did not solder my Command key. There we go. Go command space. Yep, spotlight search enabled. Perfect. Okay. Via. Alright, Via, are you detecting this board? Yes, it detected the board. Not bad. I must have flashed this with the newer version of firmware than I thought. There it is. Look at all that stuff. Here, let's see. Let's do the key tester and make sure every key works here. Oh, look at that. No matrix mode, so this is definitely a version of firmware way before they implemented matrix mode. Here, let's just reflash it, just to be sure. Just to be sure. I'm gonna keep that guy plugged in, or actually, I'm gonna change it out. Use the shorter cable. Just gonna flash it with a different version of firmware. Make sure everything is good. Let's see, reset button. Where are you, reset button? Wait, does the ZL60 not have a reset button? I'm not seeing a reset button anywhere. Oh wait, is that a reset button right there? S1? Oh yeah, I think that was the reset button right there. Okay. Let's flash it. Let's flash it. Just make sure we have the correct version of firmware here. Oh, it's under Wilba Tech. Okay. It's under Wilba _ tech / ZL60 : via. There we go. Let's flash it. Flashing. Erasing flash, flashing. There we go. Good stuff right there. All right. All right, right now it's detecting my ANSI. Let's plug in this board. There we go, perfect. Detects it just fine. You go into key tester mode. There we go, test matrix. Now it's available, perfect. So yeah, I must have flashed it with the version of firmware that did not support test matrix. Interesting. I didn't know that would be a thing actually. Uh-oh, tab key. Did I probably did not solder that. Oh, same thing with the function key. Oh, hold on. That's because I need to set my split right shift. There we go. That's what I want. Key tester, matrix mode. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, so it looks like the tab key is what's having an issue there. Tab key, where are you? Oh wait, no, that's not the tab. Oh shoot, I'm looking at the tab key. I think I burned off a pad. Holy crap. No! I think that pad came off. Holy crap, how did... Dang it. It must have been when I was pushing it in that it came off. Shoots. Okay. Hold on. Quick fix. Good thing it's a tab key, and that's something that I use very often. Let me just test this out really quick. Here. Okay, it's a column key. Perfect. That means I can just short it to my escape key or to something else here. You know what? I know exactly what the matrix is because I can look at via. There. Can actually take a look at the matrix really quick. Oh shoot. It won't show the matrix unless I load the file. Here, let me load the file really quick. Yeah, it must have been when I was pushing up on the switch. That's when it came out, because it doesn't look like it was burned off. It almost looks like it physically came off. You can't buy a ZL60 PC. Yeah, I know, it sucks. Let's see, load. Shoots. Was not expecting that. It's been a year since I last lifted a pad. Right, there we go. Show matrix. So that tab key is connected to the escape key, the caps lock, the left shift, and the control. Okay, so, okay. It's a relatively easy fix. Hopefully. Maybe. Easy fix. Just short it to the caps lock. Man, that's so... That makes me sad. That makes me sad. Good thing it's just a small fix here. Do I have any wires available? Alright, I'm back. Use solder as wire. That is a very, very bad idea. Okay, so did not have black wire, but I have my typical yellow wire, just because yellow is my favorite color. So yeah, this is what it is. Let's see. Good thing it's a column trace, not a row trace. This makes it easier. I can just literally tie two legs together. Perfect. I'll do. It'll look messy, but it is what it is. It is what it is. My only concern is it does get awfully close to the microcontroller. But, oh well. Oh well. You wonder if clear wrapping wire is a thing. Like the insulator is made out of clear material. It's probably a thing. Yay, it's Kate is rating with a party of 43. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yay, it's Kate. What were you doing before this? What keyboard were you building, if any? And yeah, thanks guys for joining in. If this is your first time here, I build keyboards, as you can probably tell. This is a personal build, a personal rebuild. Was doing it mainly because my stabs suck, so I'm upgrading them to Durock V2s. But in the process, I've actually lifted one of the pads, which is very unfortunate. So yeah, thanks for joining in, guys. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I know. And plus, it's a Zeal 60 PCB, which you can't get anymore. And I was saying earlier on and during the stream that the Zeal 60 is one of the few in-switch RGB soldered 60s currently in existence. So this is quite a sad time for me. But it is what it is. Good thing I know how to fix it. So won't look pretty, but sigh. I'll probably have to rebuild this board again sometime in the future. Nobody needs to see the pad. Okay, so that's the thing, right? 2 weeks ago, I rebuilt my clue board. And the main motivation for that was because I did not like the fact that I had to fix it with the wire. So these things actually do really annoy me. But the fact that I can't get a Zeal 60 anymore is going to be problematic. So I'll just have to accept it. Won't look pretty on a part that he'll never see. Well, every time I look at this board, I'm going to remember that, you know? So that's the problem. You can hide it, but I can feel it. Yeah. Exactly. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to curve this wire so I can just hook it around the switch leg as much as I can. You used the black hookup wire? Nice. Yeah, these things happen, unfortunately. Try as you might. But to be fair, I've been noticing I'm definitely a lot more careful with customer builds than I am with mine. Which is probably a good thing. Go, let me bend this guy too. The disclaimer. Customer builds. Yeah, I think it's like, it's what I was talking about earlier. Like I'm fortunate to like have lots of boards that if one doesn't work quite well, I'm like, just move on to the next board. No problem there. All right. Let's try and solder this on. It's only an adventure when things go wrong. You have the same idea, but depending on what board, right? Oh, my poor tab key. Why did I have to ruin you? But to be fair, it's a good thing that it's the tab key. It's not something like a vowel or a space. Spacebar would have been terrible. Spacebar, I probably would have been like, alright, that's it. Ending the stream. Ending the stream right then and there. There we go. Does little happy accidents also apply here? Maybe. There we go. Okay. All right. Unless that accident is getting solder on the MCU. I know, right? Well, getting it on the MCU is not bad. It's getting it on the legs of the MCU. It's going to be like, no! All right. You guys don't see that if I hold it far away, right? Here, let's test it out. Plugged it in. Key tester. Test matrix. Please work, please work, please work. Yeah! Perfect. And just make sure that the key that I shorted it to still works perfectly. There we go. Perfect. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Whew. That's still gonna bug me, but oh well. I'll live. I'll live with it. And, you know, sometime in the near future, we will rebuild this board again. Hopefully with a better PCB. Hopefully there will one day be a PCB that's in-switch RGB, USB-C, and ESD protection. One can hope. One can hope. Now it has more character. I guess. Let's see. You know, I completely forgot which way this went. Just whichever way seems to fit. Oh, this way does, actually. The wire matches your stems. I know, right? I guess that's one way to look at it. It's the silver lining. It's the silver lining. Like, thanks guys for making me feel better. Just joined what happened. In the process of rebuilding, I actually lifted a pad when I was trying to make the switch completely flush with the PCB. So that's what happened, unfortunately. But I fixed it. I fixed it. You can see my wire right there. Not the cleanest of jobs, but it is what it is. The worst part of it is the ZL60 is actually one of my favorite PCBs, and you can no longer get one of these. I don't think Wilbo has like a direct replacement for it either. Oh. You can always replace the PCB because I don't think you mind the RGB since you use non-RGB switches. Yeah, it doesn't diffuse the RGB very well. Right, let's just check and make sure. Check and make sure. All right. There it is. That's the top mount right there. There we go. Wilbo's WT60A PCB. Is the WT60A a RGB in switch as well? Because honestly, if I didn't care about the RGB, I probably would put another ANSI in this. Redeemed Hydrate, Laser Goog. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I would put another ANSI in this. Like the ANSI, which is what I have in my travel board right now. This is probably my favorite 60% PCB. It's got an ARM microcontroller, USB-C, ESD protection, via QMK support, and it supports my favorite layout. Stream went black for you. What PCB was that? The Canon Keys ANSI, which in my opinion is the best soldered 60. ANSI should have been ISO. Oh my gosh, he should totally do that for like April Fools. Hey guys, I'm re-releasing a special version of the ANSI. Only comes in ISO. ANSI input right shift. Yes. Oh, so the name of the board is ANSI. So AN-C. And it is a product from Canon Keys. Always went with DZ60. So the DZ60 soldered, my issue with that is it doesn't have ESD protection, and it's only an Atmega32U4 microcontroller. So not that any of those are bad, except for the ESD. The ESD is becoming a necessary feature for me these days. Which DZ60? Yeah. Talking about soldered boards here. There we go. Good as new, and you can't even see my little fix. And actually, now that I'm typing on this, just without keycaps alone, me actually trying to make sure that each of the switches is fully mated to the PCB, like fully flush, has added a little bit more rigidity. So we'll see how that feels once I put keycaps on. Yeah, this will probably feel different than I remember it to. Yeah, like the first time around, I just couldn't figure out how to make the switch completely flush with the PCB. So some of them were like jagged. This time around, that's not going to be a problem. Okay, just tapping on that spacebar right now. That does feel a little different to me. Yeah, that's good. Here. I just noticed my music turned off again. Go. Shift. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There we go. Yeah, this is one of my favorite DSA sets. DSA Alchemy. See, Xenophobia says, Plane 60 is. Plane 60 is one of my other favorite 60s. In fact, I do have an upcoming build. It's my Alps build. I'll be using a Plane 60 Alps with SKCL greens. I just have to make that plate. That's the only thing that's stopping me from building it right now. That stupid plate. So I have had these greens ever since 2015, you know, so it's been a long while. It's been a long while since I've wanted to build this. Oh, here we go. Putting the backspace key on. Oh yes. Finally a fully functioning backspace key. Perfect. There we go. They weren't in good condition. Let's see. Mine were from a typewriter, actually, an electronic typewriter. I think it was a sharp something. Shift. Oh, that spacebar sounds good. This is what I hate about this alchemy set. I can't tell if that's a 9 or a 6. 9 or 6. Guess I'll find out later. There we go, look, 9 or 6. They're the exact same print. Check the molding on the underside versus a non-symmetrical key. Oh, hello multimeter. Let's make sure to turn you off. It's actually a good idea. Let me do Xenophobia's suggestion. Let's see, the U key has DSA on the top. Ah, perfect. Well, I don't think it's consistent, because look. Oh wait, no, here we go, this is 9. So that's a 9. And that's a 6. There we go. Good call, Xenophobia. Eight, 5, C, 4, T. Is there a way to dampen sound without having the dampening material cover the RGB? If you're talking about underglow, you can have cutouts for each of your RGB lights. If you're talking about in-switch, not really sure actually. True story, last DSA set installed had to have a reference of what the key set was supposed to look like because no English legends. I am assuming you had Otaku? Is that the DSA set you're talking about? Otaku? There we go. Just like how it was before the start of the stream. And just typing on it right now, it does feel more stable than I remember it to be. Yeah, because before, the switches were visibly, you know, not flush with the PCB. So only the foam was keeping them in place. This time around, it actually feels so much nicer. Wow. Okay, hopefully that tab key stays in place. Hopefully my solder job does a good job. There we go. Let's clean up a bit. Let's do a little bit of cleanup so we can do our sound test. Yeah, look. Even with creams, you can still see some of that RGB. You can still see some of that RGB right there. It's Tragic says it sounds nice. Thank you. Say it looks nice too. Here, let me configure a few things in VIA just so I can have it the way that I want. ZL60, I want that to be left control right there. What else do I want? Oh, I don't want any of these. Let's do layers. Let's make that my MO1. This guy can be right alt, right win, and right control. Perfect. And this one, this key, why I'm splitting my right shift, can be my toggle key. Let's do TG2. TG2, perfect. Right. See, layer 1 has all the function keys up there, perfect. I don't really need a lot of these. Take that out. So I actually like to put mute on my M key. Let's do mute, volume minus, volume plus. There we go. And then reset key on my R key. So that's Q, W, E, R. Reset key, where are you at? There we go. And then here, this will be my arrow layer. Layer 2 can be up, down, left, right, perfect. Then layer 3, I don't even know what all this is. Let's just clear it all out. I don't need any of that. And lighting, let's do lighting. Lighting. Let's suck. I don't like it flashing like this, so let's just do gradient. Vertical color. Nope, not that. Solid color? Nope. Let's do radial, all hues. There we go. That's what I like. Perfect. There we go. There, I think that's good. Yay! Pretty, pretty, pretty. Alright, let's do this. Let's do a typing test. Let's do a typing test. Typing, typing, typing. Decode FPS as the Sirius build, yeah. Had some problems with it though, unfortunately. I unfortunately lifted a pad on the tab key, but was able to fix it Let's see, let's pick something that's more yellow. Let's do Serica. There we go. Not the right shade of yellow, but should be good enough. Here goes. Alright, these are buttercreams, Kailh cream housing with Gateron yellow stem, lubed with 205G0 in a palm plate, in a palm board. Literally almost an entirely palm build. The only thing that's not palm is the keycaps. So here goes, here goes. Let's see how this sounds. Oops. Of course I screw up off the bat. $140, 90%. Yeah, that sounds pretty good actually. Sounds pretty good. This colorway makes it difficult to actually read what I'm typing. Let's go to something like 9009. There we go. Let's try that again. $154, 96% accuracy. There we go. As Static said, I swear to God, I said 140 before he finished on my screen. Sendad rating with a party of 13. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dude, you guys are coming in at the end of my stream, doing a quick typing test of the finished build. It actually shouldn't sound any different than what it was before, but it feels different. It feels different just because I feel like I built it properly this time around. But yeah, thanks guys for joining in. Let's see, what else, what else? That's a pretty board. Yeah, it's a pretty board, I like it. Let me show it off a bit. This is actually the prototype Sirius 60. This was back when Project Keyboard first started. He sent out quite a bunch of these actually. He was trying to see, I think his goal was to see if a fully palm board was actually doable. He was wondering if screws would like hold it in place properly. Would it sound good? Would it break easy, you know? So yeah. So I got one of the prototype units. You can tell that it's a prototype because the weight isn't the nice, here, let me show you guys, isn't the nice fancy brass right there. Rather, it's just a quick rectangular cutout, like so. But yeah, this is a fully palm build. Someone earlier mentioned that I should get palm keycaps. I'm like, okay. None of the rainbow palm caps look nice to me. Like they recommended something like this. This looks pretty ugly to me. But there are palm cherry profile keycaps from Desco boards that I can probably pull out. So actually the bad thing about those is it's not going to fit my layout. So while it could work, it's not going to look nice. So I'd rather just keep it like this. This is DSA Alchemy. Here, let me pseudo type so you guys can hear it. Very thocky. Let's see, compare that with, what's something I can compare it with that's within reach? No, not my travel board, because that's silent. Let's see. Let's try Yeah, I don't really have anything within reach right now other than the travel board. Silent board. Yeah, we'll see. There we go. Alright, this time around I will not put the magnetic connector in. I'll just leave it like that. Here goes. Here, one more typing test and we can end out the stream. The rebuild sounds satisfying. Yeah. Well, it sounded like this too. It just, like, you guys can't tell, but to me it feels better. Xenophobia says, so who are we rating? That's a good question. Let's see, anyone I know streaming today? Let's see. Let's see who's streaming while we're at it. Minterly. Minterly is streaming. We can raid Minterly. We can raid Minterly. Let's do that. What was the name of those Franken switches again? These are buttercreams. Basically, these were the byproduct of someone's other Franken switch. I was like, he was like, hey Merlin, I got all these random switch parts. You want them? I'm like, sure, why not? So I made buttercreams. Kailh cream housing with the Gateron yellow stem and a 67G spring from, I think these are Telio springs actually, and I've lubed them with 205G0. They are in a palm plate, in a palm housing, in a palm top mount housing, which is why these sound very thocky. Here, one last typing test just to demonstrate it. There we go. 139, 97% accuracy. Let's see, I think I actually have a typing test of this if you guys want to keep hearing that. You know what? Let's see. Sirius 60. There we go. There we go. Let's see, does this sound the same? Oh my, it's my old intro. Okay. I think it sounds roughly the same. Maybe. Maybe it sounds a little better now because the foam is more compact. Yeah, maybe it sounds a little better now. Who knows? Who knows? Let me pause that. Ah, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Let's do that scene. There we go. That scene's better. Let's pause it. Oh, shoots. I'm just gonna unplug it right there. Let's see. I'm gonna type what I was typing then. Huh. Xenophobia, I think you're right. This sounds a little bit stockier. I wonder if it's because I really did compress that foam a lot. Or who knows, who knows, who knows. It's really hard to tell, like, comparing an actual board against a video, even if it's your own video. Let's try again. Yeah. I'm gonna say that Xenophobia is right. Rebuild sounds a hair lower in pitch, which is very good news to me because I like a lower pitch board. So that's good, that's good. There we go. Let's see, all the stuff I changed was the stabilizers, and I did a better job compressing the foam, so maybe that was enough to make it sound better. Who knows, who knows. It's still the same switches, so nothing else has changed. Alright. Anyway, I think this is a good time to end the stream. Thank you everyone for joining in. My next stream will be tomorrow evening when I talk about all starting and expiring group buys for this coming week. If you're interested in hearing more about this board, definitely check out that sound test that I just linked. Let me actually link it. And know that the actual thing now sounds a hair lower in pitch, according to Xenophobia. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining in, and I will catch you when I catch you. I'll be streaming Mintrally in just a few minutes here, so sit tight if you want to catch Mintrally.